standing. And yeah, so and when people say Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, or there was Sodom and Gomorrah because of gay people and blah blah blah, well, if they read the Bible deeper, I think it was only in one sentence.
Yeah, it's not much actually.
It was only in one sentence where it was mentioned that men were sleeping with men or women were sleeping with women, but there were other things like fathers sleeping with their daughters, people neglecting the orphans, neglecting the poor. It's all about wickedness of the world. It's all about the things happening even in this our present world. That was the reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, not because specifically because of LGBT. Yes, LGBT was, but there were so many other things. There was sex work, there was wickedness, there was humanity, you know.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You know, this is exactly why I needed you here. I've never heard anyone say that before.
Yeah, you can do more research on that.
No, but you know what? People will read it and then they'll pick what they want.
Because
but you have just picked the entire thing.
Yeah.
And say, listen here, if you read the whole thing,
you would understand.
Oh, that's so brilliant. I've never heard, even the best of priests, I've never heard them say that before.
We always do, yeah.
Welcome to the Sonny Jermain Show. It's going to be another fabulous podcast episode where I'm going to be talking with a great African who's living here in the Netherlands as I am. It's the Sonny Jermain Show, and I would like to welcome a special guest, Kayode Gomes from Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you here. You are one of the busiest Africans that I know. I thought I was busy, but you are busy. I don't even know how you managed to make it.
We're doing our best.
It's so nice. So, to people who may not know you, I'll just give a brief introduction. You're a media entrepreneur, you're an activist, you're an academic, you're an author. Is there anything that you cannot do?
I'm not jack of all trades,
okay,
but at least I do my best to make impact in every way I can. So I simply consider myself as a social entrepreneur.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that. What makes you a social entrepreneur?
Well, many things amongst what you have already mentioned. First of all, I'm an activist, a human rights activist, and I defend the rights of.
I have to clap.
Thank you. I defend the rights of key populations, which range from LGBT, sex workers, migrants and refugees, and people living with infections and HIV/AIDS.
I see.
This is what I do primarily. And in addition, I'm also an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I'm focused on promoting African products in Diaspora and around the world, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
So with activism, you do it with Love Planet, right?
Yes, I do activism with Stickton Love Planet, which is an organization I founded in 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, back in Nigeria. So it's been a long time coming.
Oh, so you brought it here? I thought you started it here.
No. I started Love Planet in 2004 back in Nigeria, and when I came here to the Netherlands in 2017. First, I was here in 2016 for a program which was organized by Shelter City Program and the Netherlands government itself. I was invited under the platform of Stickton Love Planet as a human rights defender. And then in 2017, I came back to the Netherlands, and since then I've been here. So in 2018, myself and my partner decided to start up what we call today Stichting Love Planet here in the Netherlands. And
I see.
yeah.
So where are you from in Nigeria? I'm always interested in knowing more about African countries.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that I've read a lot of books by the colonizers, and they always say Africans have a poor sense of geography.
Okay.
Describe where you're from.
Well, basically, I consider myself an African. I'm proudly African, originally Nigerian. I was born in the northern part of Nigeria.
Oh, really? Which tribe?
Which is Kano State,
Okay.
the Hausa tribe. That's where I was born.
Okay. Give us a greeting in Hausa.
Okay, so Nuku, Inauni, Inakwana, I mean, anyone we are. Inakwana means good morning,
Okay.
Inauni means good evening,
Good.
and Sanunku means well done. Also.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's Hausa.
yeah, that is Hausa. So
Okay.
I was born in the northern part, which is Kano State, but I'm from Lagos State by origin,
Okay.
which
break
is the
it down.
Yoruba tribe.
So you can also speak Yoruba.
Yeah, fluently.
Okay, how many languages do you speak?
At the moment, okay, well, I speak Hausa, I speak Yoruba,
Yeah.
I speak English,
Yeah.
I speak Dutch, I speak a little bit of Igbo,
Oh.
which is the eastern part of
the eastern
Nigeria.
part, yeah.
So I'm a complete Nigerian actually because I speak the three major languages.
You sure are. And that's rare. So do you also speak broken? I was surprised to learn that Nigerian pidgin is actually called broken.
Yeah, it's called broken English or
I never
pidgin
heard that.
English.
I found it so delightful. Like, oh, you actually call it broken.
Yeah, now broken English.
Yeah, so
That's how we dey speak am.
it's delightful. It just cracks me. I wish I could speak it.
It's interesting. You can learn. It's very easy. If you can speak English, you can speak pidgin. You just need to
No,
know
it's
how to
hard.
twist it.
It's hard. I'll tell you, when I was I go to Dutch language school, and there are other people from the Middle East. Obviously, the Middle Eastern people, there are more people in our classes. And they were like, you can't hear what the Nigerians are saying. I'm like, no. So they found it shocking.
But where if I may ask, sorry,
Yeah.
where are you from
Absolutely.
originally?
I'm from Zimbabwe, but
Zimbabwe.
I'm from the southeast as well. Sorry,
Oh.
southwest rather.
Okay, so apart from normal English, you guys don't have.
I speak Zulu, but we call it Ndebele. How I describe it to people is that we're like the Dutch in Belgium, stuck in another border.
Okay.
Yeah. So to some people, I'm South African.
Uh,
Yeah, because Zimbabwe, the majority of Zimbabweans have another language called Shona.
okay.
Yeah, so that's not my mother language. My mother language is called Ndebele, but for historical reasons, I like to call it Zulu because there are people who don't understand the history of our migration out of South Africa and how we ended up on the other side of the Limpopo River, which separates Zimbabwe and South Africa, due to the Dutch.
we know the history.
Yeah. So yeah, I speak I think 6 languages.
Wow.
Dutch would be my 7th.
7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my head is full.
I thought I speak a lot of languages, but I think you're
No, but the
fine.
first 4 they're related. One from South Africa, one from Swaziland, one from the south of South Africa, and my version from Zimbabwe.
Oh,
So they're related. Yeah.
Mhm.
So tell me, with all these languages that you can speak, how do you find the situation that Nigeria is in? Personally, I think the two countries. Listen, I'm already saying the 2 countries.
It's
The
one
north
country.
and the south should be split, just like how it was back in the day.
Oh, that's
Do
what
you
you
agree
think.
with- yeah.
No, I don't agree with you.
Really?
Because Nigeria is a country. Is a huge. How do you call it? In fact, it's not a country. Actually, it's a nation.
Okay.
It's a nation that houses several countries because we have a lot of tribes in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We have a lot of tribes, but the thing is, you cannot separate them
Yeah.
because they have been in coexistence for as long as Nigeria exists. You understand? And we have a lot of intercultural marriages, intercultural business, and all that. You see an Igbo man who doesn't have any investment in the east, where he comes from, but all his investment are there in the north, which is the Hausa region.
Yeah.
You understand? You see an Hausa man who is married to a Yoruba woman, and then have children from that region. So how then do you want to separate them?
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. And yeah, I think Nigeria is a multicultural country, multi-religious country. So it will be really difficult to separate Nigeria. And yeah, the united we stand, they say. Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall.
That's true.
So Nigeria needs to remain one, in my own opinion.
We will agree to disagree. But the reason being why, whenever I meet Nigerians, many of them are always surprised. How do you know so much about Nigeria? Well, I'm a historian, first of all. But then, yeah, with us, we grew up reading Nigerian novels. I don't know if you know Naira Power. There's a novel called... Woo.
That means you read a lot of Chimamanda's...
Chimamanda, yes, Americana, Half of a Yellow Sun.
And Wole Soyinka.
Yes, oh yes.
Chinwe Achebe.
Things Fall Apart.
Exactly.
That is the canon of African literature.
Oh,
if you don't know Things Fall Apart, you have to read it.
Yeah.
It represents
that is
Africa.
Exactly. That is just Africa in Things Fall Apart. It's an old how do you say it? Literature, but it still relates with the present day Africa. I was at Black Pride Amsterdam yesterday, actually, this July, and we had a Nigerian priestess, a Yoruba priestess. She was doing a healing session. Nice. So we were telling the Dutch people that there's a book called Things Fall Apart. You have to read it. And there's a Dutch version. So. Oh, there's a Dutch version of Things Fall Apart?
I didn't know. I found it like last week.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So, how do you connect your spirituality? Because I love spirituality a lot. Are you religious or?
Well, if I'm allowed to say this on air, I think religion is hypocrisy. I consider myself a spiritual person, but I'm not religious.
Me too.
So basically, I was born into a Muslim family, and then became a Christian.
What were the circumstances behind the change?
Well, my mother was originally Muslim. My father is Christian, but of course I was raised by my mom. So we were Muslims until when she decided to become a Christian. Of course, we were very much younger, myself and my younger brother. So whatever mommy says, we follow. So we had to go to church, start going to church with mom, and But
so
over time,
she switched.
Yes, she switched, and we became Christians. But like I said, my dad originally is Christian, so it still brings me back to being a Christian. But growing up, I identified a lot of faults in religion and how we use religion negatively, especially as Africans. So I just choose to be spiritual. I connect with God in my own way, and not necessarily through a pastor, a bishop, or imam, or reverend father, or whatever.
Let's go into that.
Okay.
Because spirituality is on the rise. I'm a healer myself. I'm a spiritual healer, actually.
Okay. So I'm going to get some healing.
No, you know what? My specialty is in talking to people. So I talking to people, that's what I do best. I call myself a verbalist. I don't do herbs, I do verbs. So I allow people to be free, people to express what they normally wouldn't to other people. And so it became clear to me that this is something that people need. And you know what? You're a media practitioner yourself, so I'm sure you also have it in your mind. That's why you write. That's why you do your own show. Gomez has his own show, Paradiso Africa. Subscribe on YouTube, search for it as well.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we don't talk enough as people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's strange that human beings have been talking for so long, but it's only now. The successes that podcasts are having, I think that it shows that we really need to talk more with each other. And that is a way of bringing us back to who we are as a spiritual people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for you, how do you connect with yourself or the higher power? I don't know how you describe it.
Well, it's just communication. It's just you speak to God as the higher being, because no matter what we do, we know there's a higher being there, and everything exists underneath the higher being. So we just need to communicate to God when we want something or when we want to appreciate Him. And in so doing, we also need to educate other people on how to reach out to God without depending on other people or depending on institutions, men of God who are most times fraudulent, and just use what they know to manipulate other people. Meanwhile, you have the powers, you have the spiritual means, and God has given us the enablement to be able to connect with Him directly without through anyone or any institute. So we just try to educate people with our platforms as well, to try to reach out to God themselves and avoid being used and being manipulated.
So what do you think about ancestors? Does that come in your type of spirituality or it's not there?
Well, I know there are ancestral powers, but maybe because I grew up in the cities, I grew up in the urban area in Nigeria all my life, so I don't really have
that in Lagos or
Lagos, Kano, Abuja, mostly in
all of those are big cities, right?
They're all big cities, but there are people who grew up in the villages who understand the ancestral power, who feel connected to this ancestral power. But for us that grew up in the urban areas, we tend not to know too much about it, but we know there are ancestral powers and it works. And another thing is most people tend to use it negatively, so that's sometimes one of the reasons why people like me stay away from from those narratives or those ideology. But of course they can be used for positive, for good.
It's good that you mentioned that, because just as well in Zimbabwe, I think between 2000 and 2004, the Nigerian embassy used to, Zimbabwe was under sanctions, I think in 1999 going forward. So they, Western countries stopped giving us Western films, Western television, and all we had on Saturday nights were Nigerian movies. I think way before you guys were watching them, we were, let me tell you, we were crazy about Nigerian movies.
Are you serious?
What? Patience Ozoko, what can you
Patience
tell me?
Ozoko, okay.
I love that woman.
All the witches in Nigeria.
All the witches in Nigeria.
In Nigerian movie industry.
She's a
Zimbabwe.
tough woman. She came to Zimbabwe, that's how much we loved it. People like Michael Jackson have been to Zimbabwe, Bill Gates, Will Smith. We didn't care about them. Patience Ozoko set foot in that country.
Are you serious?
We were crazy. We just went to, we were all over. It was a stampede to see her. We love her so much.
That's nice. Yeah, she's a good woman. She's still striving in the industry. And she's doing well. She's But basically, I believe most of her characters in the movie are usually, tough ones, evil. But she's, I think, in real life, she's actually the opposite.
She's a gospel singer.
Yes.
So you also, do you do a little bit of filmmaking before Paradiso Africa?
I do filmmaking. It's part of my work back in Nigeria.
Movies or documentaries?
Movies and documentaries, mostly movies in Nigeria. But when I got here, I started doing documentaries. Of course, to showcase the journey of migrants, talk about why some people ended up here in Europe to seek asylum, their journey so far, the background back home, why they ended up here. So we try to make conduct interviews which we convert into documentaries in the long run.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you are also chairman of Africa Delic.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
How does that work? I always see all these wonderful concerts, arts programs.
Yeah. It's
I'm like, I want to be just like Gomez. Like, that's what I want to do when I grow up.
You're already doing a lot. But basically, I'm the board chairman of Africa Delic. So most of the concerts and events you see put together are being done by Manu. Manu and Emil. So Manu and Emil are the founders of Africa Delic, and they are the how do I call it? The managing directors of Africa Delic.
Day to day.
Yes. So they run the day-to-day activity. They organize the concerts and those areas. While I'm just the board chairman from the charity angle of it. So we just support them from within as board members.
So you spoke about migration, so we are going to dive into that. According to the BBC, which was I think this June 2022, they say that 90% of Africans want to leave Africa.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. What do you think about it? Is it a good idea? Bearing in mind that we are out of Africa ourselves.
It's so sad.
Because the people are going to crucify you and say, oh, you're saying that because you are not in Africa.
Well, I'm joining them in Africa soon.
Oh,
so,
really?
But yeah.
That's an exclusive.
Okay, that's an exclusive, exactly. Okay, so because the thing is, it's sad.
Yeah.
Because before I came here, I didn't understand some of these things. And after spending some time here, I realized that we are making a huge mistake. Migrating here. Of course, for those of us who had safety issues as a result of our work or sexuality and all that, it's understandable. But if you're migrating here for economical reasons, then that is a huge mistake. That is a huge mistake. And really, I wouldn't advise anyone to do that. I feel so sad that Africa is losing a lot of talent. We're losing
90% is a lot of people.
Yes, a lot of talent, a lot of resources, because there's nothing as huge as people resources. There's nothing as huge as intellectual resources. So we bring all our knowledge here. We build this place and we abandon home. So who is going to build it for us? Do you understand? So it's so sad. And really, in the real sense of it, what we're doing here is a rat race. We're just running around the circle, working and paying bills. Nothing impactful, nothing innovative. There's nothing new you want to do here. Because it's more like they've seen it all. Do you understand?
True.
But there's a lot we can do back at home. And whatever greener pasture we think we're coming here to look for, I'm sorry. I always say I'm sorry to disappoint you. There's nothing here. Seriously. The greener pasture is back home. The nature is back home. So, what makes me say there's nothing here is because even with your qualifications, I don't know about America, I don't know about Canada so much, But as far as Europe is concerned, using Netherlands as an example, no matter your qualification as a black person, you have a limitation. You still have those limitations. There are certain jobs you cannot get.
Yeah.
Even if you have masters. And they just put you in that box where you just remain, how do I put it now? Just a normal person. You work in the factory or you do cleaning jobs or just labor work.
Yeah.
Which if you are in your country, if you are in your continent, you do better off. And you can use your knowledge to build your continent, to build your nation. You can't build anything here. You can't do anything here. You can't even how do you say it? You can empower yourself in terms of education, in terms of knowledge, but you can't really make much impact.
Yeah.
Or say you want to gather wealth, or you can't do all that here.
Yeah. Speaking of wealth,
yeah.
I also like the subject of money.
Okay.
What have you learned about money? Obviously, you've spoken about it a little bit, that greener pastures are maybe not so green.
Yeah, it's not so green here.
Yeah. I always feel like Africans, we have an exaggerated view of money.
Yeah.
Which is not really what it is. Thinking that maybe money will make you extremely happy, maybe? I don't know.
That's what some people think. They think money makes you happy, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
We have seen wealth, we have seen money, we have gone up, we have come down, but you still don't find the happiness. For me, I believe happiness comes from within. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are average, it comes from within. And like I said, people don't get rich in Europe. So if you think you're coming here to become rich or to become wealthy, you can be comfortable, but you can't be rich. And being rich does not give you happiness.
No.
For me, what makes me happy is making impact, adding value to people's life. You understand? So I consider it a waste of time chasing wealth or chasing money without making impact or adding any value to anyone. It's just a waste of time. It's vanity upon vanity. So
no, that makes sense, because I guess that's why you would say you're a social entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Which is in a way, I wish everyone could live in the Netherlands for a little bit, so that they could get how modern Dutch people do a little bit of capitalism,
everything,
a little bit of socialism there, and not the way they do it in America, where it's all gold trains,
exaggerate,
big cars, big houses. Fine, Netherlands things are pretty expensive, but I think the Dutch try to make everyone have a level of comfort.
Yeah, in a way, but in some part of Netherlands, of course, there are things we also don't see in the open.
Yeah.
So because people always say in the Netherlands everybody is equal, but that is not true.
No.
Because there are those who are extremely rich in this country, but they don't say that. Do you understand? They just tell you, oh, everybody is equal, everybody is comfortable, but there are people who are extremely rich as well. Yeah. But if in life generally, if we can all live moderately, I think life will be much easier for everyone. Because it's the quest to be better than others, or the quest to be richer, or to own all the power that causes most of the wickedness we have in this world. You understand? So if we can all live a moderate life, then the better for us. You're mentioning America with the bling bling, big cars, and most of them are living on credit. Do you understand? So what's the essence? You have everything, but you don't have peace of mind. So how can you even be happy?
That's the key word. Peace of mind. Peace of mind. So speaking of peace of mind, you hinted that you might want to go back to Africa.
No, not I might, I will. I have to, definitely.
Okay.
And why I said I have to, because it's more like an assignment for me.
Oh.
Not necessarily Nigeria, because if I still don't feel safe
Okay.
to go back to Nigeria, then it's not mandatory for me to go back to Nigeria. But like I said from the beginning, I'm proudly African, and no matter where I find myself in Africa, it's home for me. You understand? So I think I have an assignment to add my own quota, my own knowledge in developing Africa as a whole.
Okay. Because that's what was worrying me. That are you specifically going back to your home country?
Not really at the moment, but I need to go back to the continent.
To the motherland.
Yes, to the motherland. Yeah, because Africa is home. Africa is paradise.
Yeah.
So, and we need to really build the mindset of our people. We need to change the mindset. We need to redevelop or restructure Africa in a way, and the knowledge we have gained, the things we know, we need to impact our people. We need to bring those knowledge back home. We need to empower our communities and add value. You know, because what is the use of being here with everything we know and then
sit twice?
Do you understand? Then it's a waste. You know, at the end of the day, we die unfulfilled.
That's true.
But the fulfillment is, you know, using that knowledge, adding that value.
I used to, way before I came here, because I've always loved reading, I used to notice that the Nigerian diaspora, they didn't like to raise their children overseas, that they would be here and send the kids back to Africa.
Yes.
Now I understand why.
Exactly.
Now
because it's also a disaster raising children here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's part of this topic, but it's a huge disaster.
You can bring it in because parenting is also something that I like to.
Yeah. Parenting for me, I don't regret bringing my children here, but I think I don't regret bringing them here. Based on if I am not safe in Nigeria, then my children are not also safe. But it's painful for me. It's painful because, you know, bringing them here, I don't have the full potential to raise them the way I'm supposed to, because there are rules here that governs how you raise children, and these children are being told they call it right or freedom, but I don't see any sense in it, because when you're trying to train your child the way you were trained, the way you were raised by your parents, and then the government says you cannot do that, or the child even confronts you and say, no, it's not possible.
Are you facing that already, if I may ask?
Of course. I don't think there's any African parent who is not facing that here. It's a conflict. Some people struggle through it. Some people cannot stand it. Some people end up losing their children in the process. Do you understand? So it's just so sad, and I won't advise anyone to raise their children in Europe. That is the truth. Yes, you can. I mean, when the child is, let's say 18 or going into university, then it's the child's decision.
Freedom. Yeah.
Do you understand? But you see, at that point between 5 years old to 12, 15, just
critical.
Yes, that is a critical stage, and the best place to raise your child is in the motherland.
I now agree. I used to be angry. Why do Nigerians send the kids to Africa?
Yeah, because when you cannot control a child anymore, the best place to bring that child is home. You know why? Not just because you as a parent want to train that child in your own way, but because the society back home we train them as well. The village. You know, they say, two people give birth to a child. But it's a whole village that raises that child in Africa. Do you understand? When your child is doing something wrong, a neighbor can call the child to order. Do you understand? And you would appreciate the neighbor for doing that. Do you get? In schools, they teach the child the same how do you say? The same pattern. A parent will train a child. Do you understand? The schools will not train the children to be confrontational to their parents or to call police on their parents the way they do here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the environment will train them back home. So that is why most, and I don't think it's only Nigerians that do that. I think most Africans always bring back their children home.
Oh, really? I always used to realize it in the Nigeria, only because you guys, you traveled way before all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So most parents do that, and that is, and in the first place, I mean, in other circumstances, some children were born here actually. So, but the parents still, realize on time and say, okay, you this child, you need to go and learn something in Africa.
It's not going to work.
It's not going well. So it's not necessarily only the children you bring here from Africa, but also the children that were born here but have African ancestrals or African parents or whatever. Then you always have to, balance it by bringing them home to learn one or two things. And
because I do see the identity crisis that black people and people of color have here. That it's really affecting people deeply, and which is why I started this podcast, because so many of us are longing to have a deeper sense of who we are. And for me, I'm so grateful because I pretty much know my lineage, my ancestry so well, and it's not something that troubles me so much, but I know that a lot of people, it makes them not sleep. And I don't know, how well do you know the history of your family as an individual? Something that you say, my children, this is who I am, this is who we are.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up in the urban areas, and of course I know where my father comes from, I know where my mother comes from, I know the religion we were born in, our tradition as Yorubas, and I know all that, and I know the tradition of where I grew up, because I spent most of my life in the northern part of Nigeria, so I also consider myself as a northerner.
Oh, okay.
If I'm allowed to,
Sure.
So because so I can teach my children these things.
A diverse view of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Oh, I get you now.
So not like how do I put it now? Not like grounded
maybe one
area, like in terms of just the Yoruba culture or something, but I can teach them diversity.
I see.
Do you understand? I can teach them diversity about the different cultures we have in Nigeria, the different religion, where they come from, and stuffs like that. And that is very important for many of us that are Africans here in Diaspora. We always, apart from training your children or trying to discipline them, you always have to bring them back home to tradition, to learn the food, the language, how we behave, how we dress. If they lose the tradition and the culture, then they have lost everything, and we have lost them also.
That's true.
Because they end up not adding up to where they come from, but they they add up to the colonies.
I see. Well, speaking of colonies, we speak European languages. I'm sure you are learning Dutch, or you have learned it.
I'm done learning Dutch.
Oh, can you speak it?
And I can't go more than the level I have reached. So I've learned Dutch. I've learned to the point of integration, which is the basic Dutch. Of course, there are other level of Dutch where they talk about B2, C4, C whatever. But I've learned the basics, which is A2, and I'm stopping there because at least it enables me to communicate, to function on normal grounds. I don't need to go deeper. I always say once I get to Schiphol Airport, then Dutch is useless.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because it's only useful within the Netherlands, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Except maybe I get a consultation job in one of their embassies outside the Netherlands, then maybe it's useful. But at the moment, the only European language I speak is Dutch, which is just basic.
I see.
And the children also speak Dutch. So.
Sure. They, it's crazy. Okay, maybe it's not crazy because the children don't have stress, but we see them learn language so fast, easily.
So fast. And if you're not careful, they forget their primary language.
What?
They forget English. They forget the indigenous language, like the Yoruba, the Hausa, the.
Thank you for bringing that up.
That is very important.
It's been a big topic in Southern Africa as well.
Yeah.
African kids who cannot speak indigenous languages
terrible.
At all.
That is terrible. That is terrible because even while you're here as a parent, you need to learn to speak your local dialect with your kids at home.
Yeah.
When they're at school, they speak Dutch. So when they're home, you learn to speak the local dialect with them to balance it.
Okay.
Otherwise, they forget or they don't even speak at all. Do you understand? And also, don't forget, we're in a global world.
Yeah.
You understand? English is a global language. So no matter what, they still need to learn English as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just very important because I see some parents, we're in Europe, so it's Dutch. No, it's that is going to be unfortunate for those children in future.
True. That's so true. I have an interesting quote from the book that you wrote. It's called Exploring Immobilities, Languages, Practices, Discourses, and Imaginaries.
Okay.
You interviewed a man from I think it's Ethiopia. Yes.
Yeah.
And of course his name has been changed. You changed his name to Beyi, which is a name in my language.
Yeah.
For someone from Ethiopia.
Beyi, I think that is his real name.
No, it was said it was changed to protect his identity because he spoke about his sexuality. This is what he said, and I found it so interesting. Visibility has made it dangerous. African countries like Nigeria and Uganda, he specifically mentioned Nigeria and Uganda, even though he's from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Those countries have put everything up using laws, accusing Western countries of pushing a gay agenda. In Ethiopia, the government was shocked by our visibility because they have been denying throughout the years that gays exist in African countries.
That is another propaganda. Okay. You want me to say something on that?
Yes, you are the researcher, you spoke to the guy, you are the academic. Unpacking for us.
Well, the ideology that the Westerns brought gay into Africa, it's a propaganda. You know why I call it propaganda is because this sexual identity has been existing even before the white people came to Africa. I always say there's a tribe in Nigeria, in the Igbo land, where females are allowed to marry females. It's a tradition and it's still existing. It's been there and it's still there. You know, so it's a kind of tradition where when a woman is married and maybe the husband dies, then she's betrothed to the husband's mother.
Okay.
So everything she needs to do for her husband, she will do it for the husband's mother.
Wow.
And everything the husband needs to do for her, the husband mother does it.
Does that.
So what do you call that?
Oh wow, I've never heard that before.
So now again, in the northern part of Nigeria, we have those we call Endaudu.
Endaudu.
Yes.
Okay.
Now Endaudu are male sex workers. And they have been there for ages. They have been there for ages.
And their clients are men to be.
Their clients are men, big men, big alages. You know, so they literally stand on the streets until recently when the laws came up the anti-gay law and all that, the Sharia law.
Bad luck, Jonathan.
Exactly. Bad luck, Jonathan. Well, I didn't say so.
I did.
So they will find you in Zimbabwe or in Netherlands.
Actually, that's what we call him in Zimbabwe, bad luck, Jonathan. We have our own Jonathan. We also call the two of them, two politicians, bad luck, Jonathan.
Okay.
The two of them.
So basically, they, like I said, they hang on the streets. Big men patronize them. They even have like dance group and all that, But they are openly gay. They are cross dressers as well. And these things have been there before the so-called white people came. But we always want to blame everything on the colonies, on the white people, the Western world. Yeah. And my question is, see, the Western world have a positive side. But the funny thing is, we as Africans, we never pick the good things.
Yes.
It's only the bad sides we want to pick.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and then we pick those bad things and drop our own culture and
then blame it on them.
And then blame it on them. But the ideology of the Western bringing sexual identity to Africa, it's just a propaganda. It's all lies. Because even right from the days of the ancient days, even in the Bible, gay lesbianism was existing, and from
trans people were there. In fact, according to interpretation today, they call it Sodom and Gomorrah. They said God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of LGBT, blah 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 blah, which is another topic entirely, because that is a twisted narrative as well. Break it down. What do you mean? Because if I let you not explain that, the Christians or the religious people are gonna say, "Well, you are misinterpreting our book." What do you mean?
Well, I'm not misinterpreting the book, because, like I said, I'm a Christian, and even in the Quran, it's there in the Quran. I've read the Quran, I've read the Bible, and some of these things get twisted, and we use it to favor ourselves. Before I go into diluting the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, the whole story about the Bible, even though it has been twisted by the white people, we know that the Bible is all about black people. The existence of the Bible, the people who existed in those days were black people.
Okay, I've never heard that one before.
That is what I know. Just with the narrative of black Jesus, white Jesus. Jesus was black; he wasn't white. So, but that is going deeper into religion.
I know.
But basically, if we were to agree that in the days of the Bible, or if we were to agree that black people were the first humans on earth, then you would understand that those things that happened in those days, in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah and blah blah blah, it was black people, not white people.
Oh, I've never heard of it put that way before.
Yeah, you can do your research. So that is my own understanding. And So, and when people say Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, or there was Sodom and Gomorrah because of gay people and blah blah blah, well, if they read the Bible deeper, I think it was only in one sentence.
Yeah, it's not much actually.
It was only in one sentence where it was mentioned that men were sleeping with men or women were sleeping with women, but there were other things like fathers sleeping with their daughters. People neglecting the orphans, neglecting the poor. It's all about wickedness of the world. It's all about the things happening even in this our present world. That was the reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, not because specifically because of LGBT. Yes, LGBT was, but there were so many other things. There was sex work, there was wickedness, there was humanity,
Thank you for
So-
that. Thank you for that. This is exactly why I needed you here. I've never heard anyone say that before.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
that's
Yeah,
interesting.
you can do more research on that.
No,
So,
but you know what? People will read it
Yeah.
and then they'll pick what they want.
because they
But
just
you
use it.
have just picked the entire thing
Yeah,
and say, listen here, if you read the whole thing,
you would understand.
oh, that's so brilliant. I've never heard, even the best of priests, I've never heard them say that before.
They always use it for their own
For their selfish,
agenda.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Oh, that is so brilliant. I hope that helps to anybody that is queer and religious. So, what do you say to somebody? Because I'm not religious. I actually don't believe in God at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were spiritual.
I'm spiritual, but without believing in God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that?
We find God through sources. It can be oral history or it can be a book. I can't feel God myself.
Okay.
And I trust my intuition. It's usually good.
Okay. Okay.
It's usually very, very good. So I consider myself spiritual in the sense that there are lots of energies. I can't attribute it to a single entity because we cannot say God is a human or we cannot say God is a thing. Okay, some people do, but for me, I reject that. I've never been to church. I rejected baptism. I rejected everything to do with church.
Mhm.
I was in Zimbabwe. They call me an extremist. I rejected religion, and everyone in my family is Catholic. And I mean, everyone. They have a Christian name. They have a baptism name. None of that for me. I always say, look at my skin.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with any of that. And I have such a happy life.
Oh, that's nice.
So nice. And so it's. I look at religious people and I see religious people praying so much. And I'm like, wow, why are people who pray so much so unhappy?
Yeah.
And
they're even wicked.
and
The
even
prayerful
wicked.
people are the wicked
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, that's true. That's so
Yeah,
true.
because like if I'm to take it from you, like Nigeria
Yeah.
is a very religious country, but yet all the
A
bad things
little
happen
bit
to
too
us.
religious for me.
Yet all the bad things happen to us, you know.
Yeah.
And then you begin to wonder. Then, yeah, but I don't think it's because God doesn't exist, but it's because they are doing it in the wrong way.
Okay.
That's my own belief. It's because they are doing it in the wrong way. Because if you claim to be holy and yet you're wicked to your neighbors, then what is the essence?
What's the essence?
That's just hypocrisy,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Do you believe in astrology? Stars? I believe in the stars. Like they are energy because the sun is a star. The sun powers everything. And the sun is such a small star. This is the part where I'm scientific rather than being spiritual because spirituality is not scientific. So that's why other people are like, oh, they are the spiritual people once again with their with their thing which can be proven.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a little bit of spirituality without God and a little bit of science as well. But of course, astrology is not a science either.
Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, if it's in science context,
Yeah.
I still believe science comes from God.
Yes, I've heard.
Science
everyone
comes from God.
say
So
that.
yeah, spirituality, science, it's all from God.
It's all from
It's
God.
all our own way of communicating with God and our own way of knowing that God exists.
Mhm.
So
What's your star sign? If you do believe in them, you like. I'm a Virgo, born in September. I behave exactly like what they describe September people.
well, I don't really believe in
You
it.
don't
I
believe
don't
that?
believe in it.
Ah,
I was
okay.
born in December,
Okay.
and I don't know. I can't even remember what is the sign
Which
for December. 28th, December
Oh, you're a
28th.
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Okay, yeah, that is it. Capricorn.
Okay.
They say a lot of things about Capricorn and blah, blah, blah. I don't even.
That's
like
not
that.
your thing.
It's
Oh,
not-
okay. No, I understand. Just to close, I have what I call a dandruff question, a question that will make you scratch your head. And
Okay.
it's a weird question that I ask all my guests.
Mhm.
And for you, the question is, and it's going to make your head ache.
Okay. The way I
Sonny,
pronounce
you're sweating already. Sonny Abacha or Mamadou Buhari. Choose one. Uh-huh.
Am I allowed to choose none?
No, you gotta choose one. And the reason why I chose Sonny Abacha is because it was in the 90s. My other name is Sonny, so people when people get angry at me, they'll say, hey, you Sonny Abacha. Like, don't call me Sonny Abacha.
Well,
of course, politics is difficult because I understand, how, the Iron Man of Nigeria have Nigeria in this grip, this power thing where it seems like only them get to, and it's similar in Zimbabwe and in a lot of African countries, really.
Well, if you say I'm not allowed to choose, okay, I find myself scratching my head.
Yeah.
Okay. If you say I'm not allowed to choose none,
Yeah.
Sincerely, I will go with Abacha.
Really?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
See, I love people being straightforward.
Okay.
And Abacha was someone who was direct.
Okay.
If he's mean, he shows you he's mean.
I actually like that. I like my races to be straightforward.
Exactly. You don't have to be a hypocrite and laugh with me and then do something else behind.
Yeah.
Because that is what, as far as I'm concerned, someone like Buhari, that is what he does, or that is the way I see him and his government. They do a lot of wickedness underneath, and they come out to say, oh, we're nice people, we have done this, we're doing this, but you're doing totally the opposite. The results you're producing is the opposite of what you're saying. Unlike during Abacha's regime, he was a military man, and everything he does, life was even a kind of a bit better during his time, during Abacha's time, compared to now, during Buhari's time, So, and iron hand, strong hand. Sometimes Nigerians need iron hand, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to take your word for it.
Yeah. Otherwise,
sometimes things need to be. We need some rules.
There need to be some rules, and people need to adhere to those rules.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Well, one last thing. What do we say to our people who think that the LGBT community or being tolerant towards the LGBTQ plus community is going to damage the fabric of humanity? It's teaching our kids the wrong thing. For example, someone might say, oh, look at them there in Europe. They were talking about children learning the wrong thing, but that's exactly what we're talking about. Of course, you already say that it's in our history, but people don't get that.
Yeah, the thing is, there are worse things. I don't see anything bad with people identifying the way they want to. I don't see anything bad in identifying as gay, as lesbian, or transgender or bisexual, as long as you are not hurting anyone, as long as it's not a security threat to anyone's life. We know some people are extreme in the LGBT movement. We know some people are just all about sex and rape and whatever. But as long as you are not hurting anyone, you are living a normal life. You are not putting it in everyone's face or getting into people's space. I don't see anything wrong in it, because there are other things happening in this world that we need to put more concentration on than the LGBT this, the LGBT that. Children are going into a lot of crazy things, a lot of dangerous things, that being LGBT is nothing compared to those things where, the children are learning or seeing. And listen, the social media today is more dangerous for children than being LGBT.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand? Those narrative of LGBT is negative, or they are bringing sodomy or causing havoc in the society. They are all just um, crazy propaganda. And most of those people that are saying those things, trust me, what they are doing, you don't want to know. They are just simply hypocrites.
Well, speaking of that, there's that whole thing where we always find that the most homophobic person, one day that person is caught having sex with another man.
And then that is hypocrisy. So that is hypocrisy. So everyone has a choice on how they want to live. You don't believe in God, that is not a problem. You're a human being like every other person. You are as happy as every other person who believes in God can be, maybe even happier. Do you understand? So I'm spiritual, I believe in God, but I don't believe in religion. That is my choice.
True.
Do you understand? So it's whoever you want to love, however you want to identify, it's your business.
How do I say thank you in the many languages that you speak?
Okay, in Hausa you can say Nagode.
Nagode.
In Yoruba, Eshe.
Eshe.
In Igbo, the Igbo one. I'm not too. The Igbo is not so fluent for me.
No, it's alright.
Or Dalu.
Dalu.
Yes, in Igbo, Dalu.
In Broken, I'm curious how that sounds.
In Broken is thank you now. In Broken is
it's simple like that. Well, thank you
Una
so
thank
much.
you. Okay, Una thank you.
Una thank you. Okay, cool. Thank you to Gomez's assistant, the ever lovely Joyce. Be sure to catch them. They have a lovely YouTube channel called Paradiso Africa where they also speak about African issues. I don't know if you have anything else to add on to that.
Well, nothing much than check out our YouTube channel. It's called Paradiso Africa. Please join us, like, share, subscribe, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you so much. Are you on social media or you keep it private?
I'm on social media. I'm an open person, so you can find me on Kayode Gomes. If you put Kayode Gomes on Google, you'll find me on all the social media. So simple and short.
Thank you so much. It was such a lovely pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Here, and you traveled almost 3 hours from all the way in the north of the Netherlands to Amsterdam.
Thank you.
I cannot thank you enough. Greetings to your ancestors and everybody who loves you and wishes you well. We can only hope nothing but continued success in everything that you do. And I'll be sure to invite you again for another lovely talk. And hopefully we'll get to learn more about what makes Africans tick. Hope to see you soon in another episode of the Sonny Jermain Show.
Thank you.
Abantu.